At first blush, this is one of the cuter mons in the Pokemon world, with a slightly mischievous and playful nature. But once you stop and take a deeper look, within it is a reservoir of power. If ever unleashed, this once spirited, mythical Pokemon becomes a wielder and master of dark energy, making it a formidable force in the Pokemon world. This is the origin of Hoopa. To fully understand the story of Hoopa, we must be transported hundreds of years ago. During this time, this Jin Pokemon, known as Hoopa, caused chaos and pandemonium for the people of that time. It is said that Hoopa, having the power to warp and bend dimensions with the rings located on and around its body, uses this ability to cause mischief by taking anything that it wants in the world. Even entire islands can be teleported through the use of these rings that can create portals. Hoopa will even gather loot. It will stockpile donuts, which happen to be its favorite snacks, and transport islands, I guess, to a secret and safe location only that it can access because it has the power to create portals with the rings. One legend even states that 3,000 years ago, Hoopa very greedily teleported an entire Kalos castle just to get to the treasure that was hidden inside, which happened to be gold. Now, what use does Hoopa have with gold? I have no idea, but it wanted the gold. There are also heavy implications that it is responsible for the mirage spots that are located all around the Hoenn region. Now, as a result of being a naturally mischievous, greedy, self-centered Pokemon, there do happen to be a lot of conflict between Hoopa and between people. This can lead to petty actions taken by Hoopa, such as stealing the belongings of people and hiding them away never to be found again. However, Hoopa isn't just this cretin of mischief. It has a very powerfully rageful side to it. In this rage, Hoopa has been known to teleport legendary Pokemon through these portals. And it can even use the dark energy that it can harness and take control of the minds of these Pokemon, causing them to go berserk, wreaking havoc and causing disaster and tragedy. This power, however, does not come without drawbacks. The dangerous side effect to creating space-time warps is that it can destroy the area where these Pokemon are summoned. Now, one very important aspect to clarify is if you are visualizing this Pokemon here, you'd actually be wrong. The Hoopa that I'm referencing is this Pokemon here. Yes, technically they are the same, but they are also vastly different. Hoopa Unbound, which happens to be this Pokemon, is believed to be the true form of Hoopa. It is unbelievably powerful. Being a psychic dark type Pokemon, it is only weak to bug and fairy type moves. Also, it has the highest base stat total of any non-legendary Pokemon and has the highest total among all mythical Pokemon excluding one Pokemon, which I'll talk about in just a second. Now, for your reference, the highest base stat total that is available in all of the Pokemon world is 720, and only one Pokemon is known to have that total, being Arceus or Arceus, the god of all Pokemon. And yes, Arceus, I like saying Arceus, is technically a mythical Pokemon. Now, Hoopa Unbound also has one of the highest special attack stats in all the game at 170, and there are only a handful of Pokemon that have a higher special attack stat. It also has access exclusively to the move Hyperspace Fury. This is a base 100 physical dark type move that will always land, even if its opponent will use the move Protect or Spiky Shield or moves of the like. It will still land. The only Pokemon that it can't hit are going to be ones that use moves like Fly or Dig or equivalent moves. There is a drawback to this move, however. If you use it, the user's defense is going to be lowered by 1 stage. Now, per the lore, Hoopa Unbound was initially a benefactor to Dahara City, and they gave him food and treats in exchange for wishes. However, Hoopa Unbound lacks control, and there was an incident where it got carried away and portaled in legendary Pokemon, leading to destruction and panic of the Daharan people. Fortuitously, we have a traveling sorcerer wandering along by the name of Gris, and he was able to channel Arceus's power. I'm not sure how you would do that, but he channeled Arceus's power and was able to seal Hoopa away in the prison bottle. Once sealed, Hoopa Unbound undergoes a transformation and miniaturizes. Now we have mini Hoopa. Isn't it adorable? Also, it is known as Hoopa Confined. So, while still holding on to this mischievous nature, as it will pass the time by playing tricks on unwary beings across the dimension, it is more willing to protect and learn and be held accountable, and that's evident in the movie. Despite its significant power reduction, and yes, there is a significant decrease, this psychic ghost type Pokemon, yes, there is a type change, has a respectable base stat total of 600 and has exclusive access to the move Hyperspace Hole. This is a base 80 special psychic type attack that will always land even through Protect or Spiky Shield. But there's no drawback to it. It doesn't lower the defense or anything like that. It does retain the ability to portal in Pokemon, people, objects through space and time, and you can release its power from the prison bottle by opening up the prison bottle. But please be warned that dark energy can accumulate and build up due to the passage of time, and this can actually influence and control your mind. Now, the sealing technique used by Gris does come with a backup plan. If Hoopa Unbound is ever released, it will be reabsorbed into the prison bottle after 3 days, giving us Hoopa Confined again. Now, if you're curious about this mechanism in the games, Hoopa changes back to Hoopa Confined when deposited into the PC box. That's from Generation 6. Also, when withdrawn from the box, it will revert back. That's Generation 7. Also, if you deposit it into the Pokemon daycare or nursery, it will revert back to its confined form, or you could just use the prison bottle item, and you can change forms that way. Now, Hoopa Confined is very easily based off the Jinn or Genie, and there are even resemblances to the Genie from Aladdin. Now, Hoopa Unbound, on the other hand, has multiple sources of inspiration. To start off this list, we have the Ifrit, or the Ifrit, and this is a powerful Jinn or demon, obviously more malicious in nature. Additionally, there is a powerful Jinn in Islamic traditions known as the Merid. And in some lore, the Merid is known as the most powerful of all Jinn, having fantastical powers. Hoopa Unbound's 6 arms can be a reference to Hindu gods, such as Shakti, a deity with cosmic power. Interestingly, this form could also be based on the Yenes, who are a tribe of 6 armed giants who fought the Argonauts in Greek mythology. Its tails and horns are obviously a derivation and depiction of demons, with the circle motifs having strong connections to summoning circles. Now, Hoopa's relationship with the prison bottle is very similar to jinn or genies with their lamp in traditional Arabian stories, and that's even further reinforced with its full power being held within their respective vessels. Now, Hoopa only being able to stay in its unbound form for 3 days has parallels to the limit of the number of wishes that a jinn can grant to its master or to the user of that lamp. Now, both forms of Hoopa could also be partly based on the legend of Nuja, a deity worshipped in Taoism and Chinese folk religion, Chinese folklore. And it is commonly referred to as the trickster deity and a worldly protector. Now, very much like Hoopa Unbound, Nuja is depicted as holding rings and occasionally has multiple arms. Now, the name Hoopa is derived from hoop, obviously, but it also might involve hoopla. Now, in North America, this is referred to as having like excitement around a certain event or situation, but it's considered unnecessary. Right now in Britain, hoopla is going to be referred to, and I think we're all familiar with this game, but it's going to be a game in which you use rings, and you throw them from behind a line in an attempt to encircle one of the prizes that are available. Now, I personally am a fan of Hoopa. While it's not one of my favorite Pokemon or favorite mythicals, I prefer something like Darkrai or even Melmetal, that sort of thing. I like its design overall. I like the mechanism of going from Confined to Unbound. And I do also appreciate the underlying message of Hoopa in that while we might have all this power, this ability to do great and wonderful things, that if we don't learn control, if we don't learn humility, that it can lead to bad things. It can lead to us damaging relationships and even ourselves to a degree. So again, I do like Hoopa. And it was fun kind of researching the lore and the origin and history of it, so I really appreciated this one. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you learned anything new while you're down there, please also let me know if there's a Pokemon you'd like me to do next. Also, leave a like and subscribe to the video if you're new. I really do appreciate all the time, all the support that you give to the channel. Check out some of our other Pokemon lore and opening videos, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.